A very good afternoon to all the states which are with us today. We had a very successful Jal Shakti Abhiyan last year, and I'm sure that you would be implementing the various activities under this year's Jal Shakti Abhiyan very well, because this year we are free from the problem of any pandemic wave so far. So things are they are favorable for us. There are a few points which I would like to mention. If you have not set up the Jal Shakti Kendra in any district, please do so. The geotagging of water bodies and entering them in your revenue records. This work is very important to identify and prevent encroachments. So please, when you are making your presentation, please mention about that. We want this geotagging to be completed along with its entry in revenue records as soon as possible, and by 30th November in any case. And your GIS enabled district conservation and recharge plans. You may have prepared earlier. If you have, then it's an occasion to improve upon them. And if they are ongoing, then they should be completed at the earliest. And we would like to hear some from the field whether these plans are helping you in any significant manner in implementing Jal Shakti Abhiyan. Then afforestation, tree planting, this is the right time, and the best place is if you plant them near the water sources in catchment areas. And rainwater harvesting, several state governments have made them mandatory in public buildings. We want them to be put on private buildings also, wherever there is water scarcity. So about your plans about rainwater harvesting, we have to make this a truly public campaign. So we need involvement of NGOs. There are many good NGOs interested in the water sector. You can utilize their expertise and their good work.
We have sent them a list, sir.
So the mission director is telling me that a list of these NGOs has also been sent to the states. So NGOs which are active in your area, you can perhaps have a conversation with them and see how they can be involved. And we would, of course, like you to document, take photographs and document good work, good practices, and upload them. And if you are receiving favorable media coverage because of the good work which is being done, so that also should be uploaded. And the people's participation is very important, both in urban and rural areas. So how you are involving the people at large, the community at large, and in urban areas the RWAs, please give us a flavor of that when you respond about the progress of Jal Shakti Abhiyan. So now I understand we will be having state-wise presentations. So I'm looking forward to hear from you the present status of JSA.
If Haryana could start, sir.
Can Haryana begin?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Dr. Sapneer Singh Kalia. I'm Engineer-in-Chief. Ma'am, I request my Engineer-in-Chief, my additional Chief Secretary is busy with the Honorable CM. So he has directed me to do the presentation and the meeting, sir. Sir, Haryana, we have taken up the challenge and our performance is right in front in the last 2 years, sir.
Bring the screen.
So, am I audible, ma'am?
Yes.
So we have 22 districts and 143 blocks, 7,602 villages. And the program has been, covering all these areas geographically. Irrigation and Water Resources
The
Department.
presentation is not moving.
Your presentation should come to slideshow mode and
Right, sir. Right. Yeah, is it changing, sir, now?
slide is changing, but you have to put it on the slideshow mode.
Uh, yeah. Right. Okay, sir. Yeah, I can see it now. Is it good, sir?
You have to click on the cup down below, bar, bottom bar.
I guess it is network lag, sir. It's functional here.
Okay, okay, go on.
I can
We can
explain,
wait
sir. I
on.
can explain, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So, sir, I'll come down to about how we are handling the program, sir. We are having regular reviews at the level of Chief Secretary, and the last review was held in May, sir, on 23rd. And ACS level review has been held on 10th of June, and at my level, sir, it has been reviewed on 15th, sir. So we are having regular review of the program, sir. Yes. Sir, these are some of the interventions which we have achieved so far. Sir, in water conservation and rainwater harvesting, I mentioned, sir, you have highlighted whether rainwater harvesting has been covered, has covered all the public. My answer is yes, sir. All the public buildings have been covered for installation of rainwater harvesting. And Haryana has rainwater harvesting compulsory as a part of building code, sir. Now, next is renovation of traditional and other water bodies, sir. So far, 900 activities have been carried out, sir. We have geotagged 100% of water bodies, sir, close to over 19,000. And all our Jal Shakti Kendras are fully functional. We are trying to support the Jal Shakti Kendras with the help of funds from Haryana Water Resources Authority, sir, which is fully functional and taking huge interest. So you ask if these water conservation plans are helping in any way. Yes, sir. Sir, Haryana is implementing Atal Jal Yojana also in 14 districts, 36 blocks, and our planning is done based on the water security plan. I have earlier also requested, sir, I would request to use common terminology. In Jal Shakti Abhiyan, we are calling, sir, these as water conservation plans. In case of Atal Jal, we are calling them as water security plans. So the data is common, objectives are same, and the purpose is also same of these plans. So we are trying to formulate our plans based on these conservation or water security plans. Because we are covering only 14 districts out of 22. So for the rest, we have the same model, same methodology to collect the data, and same way they are compiled to form these documents. This is an invaluable document, sir. We will be continuously updating it also, sir. And so far, sir, groundwater assessment.
One thing here.
Sir.
Just one thing here. The water security plan, apart from the supply side, the conservation side, it is supposed to think about the demand side also. So that is the additional part in Atal Bhujal Yojana. But if you have prepared a comprehensive plan, including the demand side, so you can call it by one name. There is absolutely no problem.
Thank you so much, sir. We have considered both sides, the supply side interventions also, sir, and demand side interventions also, sir.
Good.
Sir, so we have created around 200 activities as recharge and reuse structure, sir. Sir, Haryana is probably the first in the country, sir, where we have two northern rivers which are defined in boundary of the state, sir. One is River Yamuna, sir, which is Uttar Pradesh and Haryana boundary, sir. Next is the River Gaggar, which is defining our western side with sir. Sir, in addition, we used to have three more rivers coming from these rivers, sir, are coming from Himalayas and in a way some from Shiva. Sir, south of Haryana used to have three rivers are coming from Aravalli, sir. These rivers in mid-80s have dried out totally, sir, mainly because of two reasons, sir. One is that Rajasthan created some up-storage check dams, and secondly, sir, over the year usage in that area has increased. So at least three rivers have dried out, sir. Sir, we are taking water which is available to us during monsoon because consumption in agriculture reduces. Take all the water available to Haryana during monsoon and we are releasing this water through our canal system into these rivers, sir. Sir, in Krishnapati, we have covered more than 50 kilometers of area, sir. In Dohan River, which is again coming from Aravalli, sir, we have covered more than 23 kilometers, sir. And in case of Saipi River, sir, we have created a reservoir lake, which is averaged as 10 feet, spanned over 1200 acres. So we are trying to utilize all the monsoon water in our biggest possible water bodies. Sir, in our state plans, we have taken a number of water storage structures all over the state, sir, having a size 2 acre to 10 acres, sir. Next is a watershed development activity, which is part of the Jal Shakti Abhiyan, sir. 400 activities are confirmed, achieved this far, sir. And we are going ahead with intensive forestation process, sir. 24 lakh plantations done so far, sir. So regarding Jal Shakti Kendras, as I told you, that all our 22 districts are having Jal Shakti Kendras. We are trying to arrange funds. So from them, I would also request that if some funds can be arranged to Government of India also, sir. Display has already been made outside the public buildings which are our Jal Shakti Kendras, sir. Sir, regarding water bodies, sir, we have 19,177 water bodies, all enumerated and geotagged, sir. Inventory of water bodies available are on PDMS portal also, sir. And just to add, we have a fully functional Haryana Pond and Wastewater Management Authority, and this year's budgetary outlay the Pond Authority is over 800 crore. GIS mapping of all the water body has been completed, sir. District water conservation plans of 22 districts already formulated and uploaded on the portal, sir. And funds utilized for village level contour mapping is also done, sir. Regarding, sir, creation of Amrit Sarovar, sir. We have shortlisted, sir, 75 ponds in district, totaling 1650, sir. Honorable CM has launched this program, sir. We are quite ecstatic about the program, sir. I'll show you one of the ponds which has been completed, sir. And physical and financial progress has already been uploaded, sir, on Panchayati Raj and Public Works because they're the department who are actually doing it. Irrigation department is providing connectivity from the source, that is canal to the port, sir. The rest of the work is done by Panchayati Raj department, mainly through Manrega funds, sir. So far, sir, 387 works are under digital survey, sir. 642 works have already been awarded and 17 works have already been completed, sir. Sir, there is a roadmap for Amrit Sarovar in Haryana, sir. Program as it is launched on April 24, sir, by 15,000.
अच्छा ये बताइए कि जो
सर,
अमृत सरोवर से आपके वो मेनली रिजुविनेशन के हैं या नए नए कंस्ट्रक्शन के हैं?
मोस्टली रिजुविनेशन के हैं सर। हमारे स्टेट में लगभग सभी पॉन्ड्स सभी विलेजेस में एक से अधिक पॉन्ड एग्जिस्ट करता है सर। सर एम आई ऑडिबल सर?
या यू आर। सो फिर ये अमृत सरोवर जो है मेनली रिजुविनेशन, मोस्ट ऑफ द पॉन्ड्स आर बीइंग रिजुविनेटेड।
Indeed, sir. Yes, sir. So we will be achieving the targeted 100% by August 2023, sir. Our work is on course, sir, and we are diligently following it also, sir. So these are some of the examples, sir. If I could, the slide is there. Yes, sir. This is the before and after picture of some of the ponds, sir. And pond in Haryana's economy is a big contraptions are where those people who are not having land, in fact, have livestock dependent on these ponds, sir. And Haryana is heading towards white revolutions in production of milk. So these ponds are going to indeed benefit the local population, sir. Sir, there is a small video also. Kindly take your time to play this video, sir. This is one of the ponds rejuvenated, sir. In Smalka block, we have a very enthusiastic BDPO who has done this and sent this yesterday, sir. Kindly see this, sir. Thanks. So this is our village which is close to Panipat, sir, called Jurasi. Sir, we have 143 administrative blocks.
हम लोग देख नहीं पा रहे हैं, इसको अभी छोड़ दीजिए।
Sir, Panipat is interestingly, sir, Haryana Water Resources Authority has done the categorization of water as a groundwater, and surprisingly, sir, area which is parallel to River Yamuna, starting from Karnal to the border of Delhi, has turned over critically overexploited, sir. So this pond is in that area close to Panipat, sir. And the target is, sir, to have these as a social infrastructure in the villages, where not only it does the job of regeneration of groundwater table, but also adds to the social infrastructure in the villages, sir. That's the way our plan is being planned, sir. Sir, IDC activities are also planned. Already during last 2 years, sir, we have done a lot of wall painting, jingles, quizzes in schools, nataks, and other things. This year also, sir, we are taking. Yeah. Sir, radio jingles, Jal Samvad, radio interviews, nukkad natak, newspaper advertisement, film documentaries. Taru yatras are selling offers to people on various occasions, sir, Prabhat fairies, rallies, chains, Podagiri, plantation of tree by young kids, special projects such as crop diversification, sir, micro irrigation, wall painting, writing. We had a brand ambassador also, sir. Last year, Miss India has acted as our brand ambassador, sir. Fortnightly successful dissemination through print and social media, sir. Celebration at GP level, block level, and district level, sir. Mini marathon, run, buckathon, hackathon, sir. Distribution of IEC material in electronic, print, social, and folk media, sir. Judge of art, etc. Also, planned and activities, sir. These are some of our efforts which are depicted in pictures, sir, where we implemented this program during last year, sir.
Yeah.
So details with respect to field visit by central nodal officers and technical officers, sir. 12 visits have been done so far, sir. 1 is already going, and 9 field visits are already planned, sir. Sir, regarding loading of information on interventions of GSA, sir, catch the rain on JSA. Sir, data entry done at district level by the department, sir. Convergence of Manrega funds done with other schemes of the line department, sir. NGOs, as you mentioned, sir, the list is already with us, sir. We are them on board, and a meeting is being planned under the chairmanship of our chairperson of Haryana Water Resources Authority, former Chief Secretary, Ms. Keshri Anand Arora. So it will be held soon, sir. Regarding funds, sir, in fact, there is no specific allocation at the Jal Shakti so far, sir. Just to mention, sir, that last year 2 lakhs rupees were allocated to each district, sir. I think only most of the districts got only a part of the funds, full dissemination there. I would request, sir, if specific allocation could be made to all the districts so that they take it with much vigor and enthusiasm, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
एक ही request है इनसे, sir. Like this video, if there are other videos that people are sending or good material, IEC material, can they share with us, sir?
So,
certainly, ma'am. Noted, ma'am.
इनके किसी डिस्ट्रिक्ट का कुछ बचा है वो 2 लाख में या सब दे दिए?
सारे डिस्ट्रिक्ट से वो मैंडेट आ गए हैं सर.
Okay, so we have
the second lakh we will give, sir. We're just working out the, we will at the end of it we will talk about the process.
Okay. Okay, ठीक है. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Namaskar, sir.
Next is
Maharashtra, sir.
Maharashtra. Is Maharashtra with us? Maharashtra, please.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good
Sir,
afternoon.
can you? Yes, sir. This is Dr. Dilip, Secretary, Water Conservation.
Yeah, so go ahead. The camera is shifted a little upwards. We can barely see you. If you can adjust it a little down, that's better. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
No, you can go on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Start the presentation, please. Slideshow.
Haryana is actually going next level, sir. To the good work.
Sir, is it visible from there, sir?
Not yet.
Can you see, sir?
Not yet.
I always think WebEx is better for these meetings, so NIC was.
Visible, eh?
Sir, can you see our presentation, sir?
No, we can see ourselves at 2 screens now. We can't see. क्या से कुछ है?
क्या उनके NIC वाला नहीं है
अभी आ गया.
हाँ, ये कुछ आया.
प्रेजेंटेशन.
इसको थोड़ा बड़ा कर दीजिए.
यस यस.
या ठीक है. अब चलिए.
क्या होता है?
ज़्यादा सर इससे प्रेजेंटेशन मोड में लगा है सर उसको.
ये ठीक है, हमको दिखाई पड़ रहा है.
Sir, we'll proceed, sir. Yeah. Next. तुम्ही slide पुढे घ्यायचं.
Two by two, one by one, one by two.
Sir, to start with, Maharashtra has Godavari, Krishna, Tapi, these are the west flowing rivers, and Narmada and Mahanadi, they are eastwards, sir. Sir, we have annual, I will just keep the statistics, sir. What is the annual availability, etc. I will just move to another slide. Next slide. Yeah, sir. So this is launch of Jalayukta with following objectives, sir. To arrest maximum runoff, to create decentralized water bodies, to increase the groundwater level in drought areas, to create new structures, rejuvenation of the water storage, to increase storage capacity of water bodies, to sensitize the concept of water budget, to encourage tree plantation, and to create awareness and encourage people for efficient use of water. These are the objectives, sir. Our action plan, sir. Sir, we have taken the Honorable Chief Secretary with all the stakeholders on 24th of March. Then, sir, preparation of Jal Shapath was done. Districts and all Gram Panchayats. Then issue of detailed guidelines. We have issued, sir, a GR, separate GR with the detailed guidelines. We have established Jal Shakti Kendras in all 36 districts. Then training and capacity building, we had workshops, sir. Formation of PMU is there. And weekly report is, sir, submitted to Chief Secretary Office. Sir, in our GR, sir, we have emphasized on committee formation of A, B and C class municipal corporations under the commissioner. Then we have formed the district level committees, Jal Shakti Abhiyan, under the chairmanship of district collector and chief executive, the vice president, and our water conservation officer is the member secretary, sir. And divisional commissioner is the controller of all these activities. Sir, now I will go intervention wise. These are the districts, 36 districts, and we have got the statistics. So, sir, last you will see, sir, the total water conservation and rainwater harvesting 7,617 works are completed, sir. Renovation of traditional water bodies 2,322. Reuse and recharge structures, sir, 12,847. Watershed development is 2,491. Whereas afforestation, intensive afforestation, it is, sir, 57 lakhs 8,489, sir.
How does
These are the recent figures, sir.
How does it compare with last year at this point of time?
No, sir. Unfortunately, last year there was no, because of the some communication gap. No Jal Shakti Abhiyan last year, sir. So figures are not available because of pandemic and nothing was taken, sir.
Didn't upload any data.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, do you have any targets?
So these are some photographs, sir. Sir.
Do you have any targets for this year in these activities?
No, sir. We have not given any targets as such because every district, the district collector not given any target because there will be limitation. So maximum they are trying to accomplish, sir.
Okay.
Sir, these are some photographs of our Jal Shakti Kendras.
They are good.
Then these are the Jal Shakti Kendras in various municipal corporations as well as district places. Then, sir, next point is mapping of water bodies and water conservation plans. So, potential, yes, you can tell it. Potential treatment plan. Sir, maps of around 11 villages are already prepared by Maharashtra, and department is in the process of formation of mechanism to have similar plans for all the villages in Maharashtra in a year's time, sir.
कितने villages हैं आपके?
हमारे villages 43,000, sir.
Okay.
Sir, as far as Amrut Sarovar is concerned, for 34 districts, because there are 36 districts, 2 are in suburban and Mumbai city. So our target is 510. Out of that, we have completed 306. So that is 72%, and rest will be, sir, completing by 15th of August. So these are some best practices and innovative techniques. For example, area treatment in situ. You can see photographs, sir. In situ soil conservation, then promoting sprinklers and drip irrigation, then infusion system of treatment for nala monitoring, repair of percolate tanks, sir, at various places. So these are some activities undertaken under this Jal Shakti Abhiyan.
Good.
Yes, sir. Then about IEC activities, sir. Sir, you can see some photographs, student participation. There were essay competitions, then drawing competitions. Then there is awareness drive. So there is one vehicle, Jal Shakti Abhiyan. Then cleaning of water bodies, students, and plantation at government offices. So this is the we have created awareness for the maintenance and of efficient use of country's water resources, and we have created awareness among the people as well as students. So these are some photographs. Just a minute. Next slide.
ये field visit, sir.
Yes, sir. This is about the field visit of the officers from central government. So there was ample and wide publicity given to all these visits, and there was a very good appreciation by the central teams also, where they have visited. And sir, convergence of various schemes is there, pulling the funds from all resources like NREGA, MLA funds, MP funds, DPDC, NGOs, as well as our state budget of Water Resources Department. Next. Sir, these are some challenges. That challenge one is challenge. Maharashtra PMO under SNO is flooded with the calls. So what we have suggested that institutional mechanism wherein few dedicated lines shall be open to support query resolution is our suggestion, sir.
We'll look into this, sir. We'll see if we can.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Then, sir, financial assistance. So rupees 2 lakhs per district. So districts have received, and other districts will be receiving, sir. So that is not a very major issue.
36 19 pension.
Sir, database, we find few of our water conservation structure names and villages, and names not available in the MOJ portal. So it is suggested to provide query and feedback management system to resolve this issue, sir.
We've had a couple of rounds of training with Maharashtra on the portal. We'll do further.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Then Maharashtra has bulk data of water bodies that is uploaded on the portal, but the portal does not have a facility for bulk upload. So it is suggested to provide bulk upload facility at SNO login.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
So Maharashtra, the general this thing is good, sir. JSKs, they've done all. The only issue is that their district plans are not, only for 9 districts are their plans ready, sir. For the remaining districts, it is not. This has also been pointed out by the report of the CNO, where everything else has been rated excellent except for the fact that the water recharge plan has not been done. That is one, and the second is what are they do? Again, good practice, good news stories to share.
इसके बारे में बताएं. Water
हाँ सर,
conservation
इसके बारे
plan.
में क्या हो गया? We have been telling right from the beginning to the district collectors कि उसका एक प्लान बनाया जाए. लेकिन कलेक्टर्स का ये था कि थोड़ा पॉजिटिव टाइम भी था और अर्जेंसी भी था काम शुरू करने का. सो दे स्ट्रेट अवे स्टार्टेड ऑल दिस वर्क्स. फिर भी हम सबसे प्लान लेंगे सर. In fact, the plan is not in the format, but they have planned it and they are doing it.
इस बार आप सारे डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स का अपलोड करवा दें.
Sir. Yes, sir, we'll do it.
और फिर हम रिव्यू करेंगे प्लान सर, एंड देन इफ वी कैन इंप्रूव ऑन द प्लान्स वी विल वर्क ऑन देम. इट्स अ कंटिन्यूअस प्रोसेस.
Yes, ma'am.
और अपनी गुड प्रैक्टिसेस वो भी फोटोज और वीडियोस और मीडिया मटेरियल
Yes, sir.
उसको भी अपलोड करवाएं.
Yes, sir. 14,000 photos are uploaded already.
This time Maharashtra is doing much better than last year, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Next we go to
MP.
Madhya Pradesh, please.
Namaskar, sir. Sir, this is Sufia, Commissioner Narega from Madhya Pradesh, sir. My secretary, sir, is also with
Sir, Dharanjay, Secretary Panchayat and Rural Development, sir.
Namaskar.
Sir, may I share the PPT, sir? Can I start sharing, sir?
Please go on.
Sir, I hope the PPT is visible, sir. Sir. Sir, last year also we had started with the Catch the Rain Abhiyan as soon as it was launched, and we had focused on a lot of water recharging structures since last year, sir. However, sir, this year we have tried to make an effort that we do it in a more scientific way, and there's a comprehensive planning. Though the Abhiyan is for a shorter period, our entire planning, sir, expands to almost 5 years. 5 years, sir, because Madhya Pradesh is a very expansive state with huge areas under forest and large stretches of land, even in rural areas, with lots of rolling, hilly, rocky areas, sir. So the scope for water recharging structures or trying to cut or slow down the runoff of the rainfall water is immense as compared to, I think, more typically North Indian states like UP or Bihar, which are intensively areas. So apart, I mean, we also have an intensive cropping zone, but we still, apart from the intensive cropping zone, have areas which are largely under forest or under community land, sir, where water recharging has to be focused, sir. So we have, I will try and summarize quickly the technical aspect of our planning apart from the execution thing. So I'm starting with the technical planning, sir. So we have used the Bhuvan and ISRO maps that have been available to us through MORD, and we have used them to make, first of all, for the complete panchayat area, the complete state, all the geographical information maps, the GIS maps, sir. So MP is one of those states in India which has complete GIS mapping work done, uploaded and shared with the MORD, and it is on portal, sir. Apart from this, I mean, this in the introductory slides, so I've tried to highlight that we have identified 84 blocks as extremely sensitive from the point of groundwater status. Either they are overexploited or critical or semi-critical. And the green ones are in the zone, but we have prepared GIS plans for the safe zones also, because water conservation has to be a habit forming and it has to be a mass practice. We cannot into a kind of a treatment board where the problem has already happened. We need to also prevent it in the better off areas. So after GIS planning, coming back to what we have done, this is just a sample of one of the blocks which is extremely arid. It is in the northern part of MP. It is next to Gwalior, sir. This is just a photograph, but we have these maps live available in the public domain. On these maps, sir, we have worked using some QGIS mathematical models which have always been existing, and IITs have been teaching this as their syllabus, but it was never a computerized method with easy derivation and easy reflection on the maps. It had always been involved a lot of numerical calculation and a lot of ground truthing and walking the ground to make these maps. So we are that way lucky that we could get hold on some KML based free software which we downloaded on our regular systems in our lab, in our GIS lab in my office in the Narega Parishad in Bhopal, and help of German collaboration, which is in collaboration with Department of Economic Affairs in Government of India. We have a water conservation cell in GIZ, sir, which is working along with Narega in Bhopal, sir, in Madhya Pradesh. This lab of ours then helped us derive more geographical data apart from what was already available on GIS. So we derived certain models to find out whether it was granite or basalt structure, where were the fault lines, where were the fracture lines, and what is the superficial geography of the area, whether it is habited, it is village or forested or barren, or it is already under a watershed program, or it is a drainage program. So sir, this is for an example, like if I don't know if my cursor is on your screen, sir, if it does, then these are some of the lineaments in the yellow lines. And the blue lines obviously are the drainage lines, sir. And then we also get some idea what kind of like the blue, the brown part is the sand oxidized nodule, whereas the pink parts are different kinds of sandstone with shale. So this gives us an idea what kind of a recharge structure will work where will it get waterlogged, where it will actually absorb, sir. So now this is the derivation we have done over that information. So this derivation is again very easily available in a drop-down in the public domain, uploaded on the MORD portal also, sir, for the work that we've completed, and in our website, in our in-house website also. So sir, now the same lineaments with the mathematical calculations through the GIZ and GIS lab at our Parishad, we worked out to find which is the most appropriate place for a stop dam, for a recharge shaft, for a check dam, a bund, and that way, where do we need to actually make some Gabion structures, trenches. So this gives us a very scientific, I would say a scientific validation of what kind of works we do in Narega. Especially in Narega, we are always charged in a negative way of doing a lot of work which has probably no output. Another problem with ground recharging work is that once groundwater is recharged or we've done a good percolation tank, the common public in the village will always complain that it was a faulty tank and no water storage happened. So at the end of Narega, from the political side, we face a lot of tirade and a lot of charge on these sides, sir. So this is just one block, sir, and we have only a few structures here, but this is available on Google Earth map. We can pan it out and we can actually see each and every field, each and every Kapildhara Nirmal Need, which is the community well, or the Gabion structures. Every structure is easily visible when we actually, I mean, this is just a photograph, but actually go onto the website, everything is visible, and it is therefore very executable and easy even for the Gram Rozgar Sahib to find out what he's supposed to be doing where, sir. So this was, I mean, it was a little elaborate, but nonetheless, it gives, I hope to communicate the scientific basis of how we are going about this, sir. So, along with this, we are also doing the source sustainability planning for PHE department and kind of converging it with the RA funds also, Atal Bhujal Yojana funds also, and whatever PHE can offer us in terms of whether they are piezometers, how to measure them, or if they can provide us from the mechanical division shafting machines or drill machines so that we can do good appropriate length recharge shafts. So this is just a map trying to show that out of the 1638 source less villages under the Nal Jal Yojanas, we have already put in place plans for 1,000, sir, for more than 1,000 villages, and we will be able to do it for the remaining ones also. And maybe before the next rainy season, we will to work on the recharge of these villages also. So probably they'll have some functional water supply schemes in those villages also. This is not exactly, sir.
So what are you, what you are saying is that these 1,000 plus villages will have hopefully some source by next monsoon.
So we are trying to do that, sir. We are trying to do that, though I would say, I mean, that is extremely ambitious thing to say, sir, because if PHE with all its technical wisdom has failed to do it, NREGA is a very small civil engineering vision, but armed with the technological support and some convergence, especially on the drilling part, sir, because all those structures which will require intense mechanization, NREGA will not be able to take up those, sir. We are bound by the availability of labor and the labor budget, sir. So I have done some time motion studies, sir, by which I realized that if we really want to do a good drainage recharge for the source vihin gram panchayats, then sometimes labor availability makes the project run into 3 to 4 year time period, sir. But if it was to be done mechanically, or if these plans along with NREGA were taken up by some other more machine intensive engineering wing, then so it can be easily done in a year. So our problem is that we are bound by the, sir.
So this I find very exciting. So it will be good to have at least a write up on your plan, and even if you succeed in it partially, I think it will be a great thing.
Sir, thank you, sir. So this is how we are also going by it. I mean, if we can put in more resources and more schemes and departments, mechanized departments into it, it will be good, sir. But till then, NREGA would nonetheless still be doing it on the same basis. And also trying to finalize, I've discussed it with the ACS PHE and ACS WRD, finalize some innovation funds which will come through us in Atal Bhujal and other such schemes, where we could probably at least do a sample study and sample mechanization, if not universal mechanization, sir.
We'll have a conversation and see how Atal Jal can support.
Yeah.
Ma'am, mostly from Atal Jal, we would need some money on using the drill machines or the drilling machines for the shafts, because that's the only part which NREGA doesn't cover. If there could be a proper DPR whereby machines could be allowed to do a lot of digging, because digging a trench by manual labor and digging a trench by machine is in terms of time a major difference, sir. So we are quite okay with doing it with labor, but it's going to be very time consuming, ma'am. Sir, similarly, we are also seeing, as I have already explained when I was trying to explain the GIS and groundwater implementation planning methods, sir. I hope my link works. This is a hyperlink. So this is 1 gram panchayat, Amoda, in the Narsinghpur block of Narsinghpur district, sir. This is how its lineament, this is on the border of Narmada river. This is how the drainage works, sir. And these red lines are its lineaments, and the fault lines are also easily visible, sir. So though I've tried to already explain this verbal initial slide, sir. So this is how our, these are the contours, sir. So, and all this, sir, this is right now in a map, but already we have with this is how it looks in the real time on Google Earth, sir. and this can be panned out to a very minute scale, sir. And have along with that, like if we've marked a gabion or a recharge structure, given to a gram panchayat small booklet saying in longitude and latitude terms where exactly the structure is to be constructed, sir. So it is visually visible to everybody, and our next stage right now is to make this more mobile friendly and more right now we have to download the data which is available on Bhuvan. Everybody can download their relevant data, but what we are trying to do is make it mobile friendly and make one data kind of a repository available. So this is for the next 1 year target, sir. Yes, sir. So I was trying to explain this. So to each panchayat, we have given these kind of summaries. So because they really don't need to get into all the scientific details of how the plan had come up or how we made it. For anybody who's interested, it is up. But these kind of summaries, sir, have been provided to each gram panchayat so that they know that, for example, Amoda gram panchayat needs to make 8 gabions or needs to make 3 soak pits. Whereas if we didn't have this information, we would have ended up making 15 soak pits and probably no field bunding. So, I mean, this kind of, I hope we will be able to make the entire program slightly more scientific, or at least with some data background to it, sir. Please exit. So, this is the groundwater information management plan. So, counting the critical, overcritical, and semi-critical blocks, leaving the safe blocks out, we have started preparing maps for the entire 84 blocks. And we have completed 41 already. And in the next few months, we will complete this kind of a planning for the entire 84 blocks. And also by the end of this financial year, we complete for all our 313 blocks is what the target we've set for ourselves, sir. So our safe, critical, semi-critical, overexploited blocks will all have a groundwater recharge management plan by the end of this year, sir. So this is a consolidated map. I will try and get it.
Does that mean that your entire state will be covered, or the over-exploited critical and semi-critical?
At the end of the year, we plan to complete the groundwater management planning for the entire state, ma'am, 313 blocks. So for that, we are trying to come up with a project. It has got the approval from the Chief Secretary. Verbally, we have to submit the project that we will use the Atal Intervention Fund, Innovation Funds to hire some temporary GIS experts, about 10 or 12, who will work in our lab to speed up our plan making, because GIS experts are very expensive and not easily available. They are mostly fresh pass outs from IITs, and they have no major reason to want to stay in Bhopal or want to work in Narega Parishad. They will work here for a small bond period of 1 year or 2 years and probably gain experience in the government sector and then move on. So getting GIS experts will be extremely difficult, but since MRD has a standard norm of what is the qualification required and what is the stipend to be given to them, we are following that same pattern, and we will be using some empaneled agents to find out a hunt for these people and then place them and pay them not out of the Narega funds but from the Atal Bhujal Innovation Funds, ma'am. Ma'am, these are the Atal Bhujal blocks. So the same policy we are following in these 9 blocks, but we are using whatever resources are available in these 9 blocks for the 313. That is how we target. So if this could in somehow, some way be expanded, or we could be given some kind of a more execution support, then ma'am would be really kind, and we would be able to kind of unroll a more consolidated plan for the state, ma'am. This is data sheets, ma'am. Subsequently, like Atal Bhujal, we are following the same pattern, so I will not discuss that, ma'am. I'll come to CTR part now, ma'am. So the greatest challenge till now, last year and this year, has been to develop a comprehensive water database in the public domain, which we have somehow technically been able to, but it's still exactly not in the public domain. If everybody is not logging into it and seeing it and checking it and referring to it, then it is not exactly in the public domain, ma'am. Surface water development activities is somehow, I feel, majorly in all states relegated to Narega, which has its limitation, as I said, in terms we do time motion studies, any labor-based scheme will not be able to complete the targets the way our PHE or WRD can complete. So it is well and good that Narega is getting to experience this kind of a work, but in terms of the timelines, it might not be very easy to rely on Narega alone, ma'am. Most of the things, ma'am, I think I have here discussed. A watershed gets included in the GIS maps. We know climate change issues, but capacity building, institutionalization of this knowledge, and creating public awareness on these issues are some of the hardest things. As I said, apart from technology, if something is more difficult, then it is creating public awareness and an entire movement that people want to save rainwater. It looks very easy, ma'am, our end here in Bhopal, but at the village level or the door-to-door level in on the Nagar Nigam areas, it is extremely challenging. Right now, we are only talking about rainwater. Most of the clean rainwater turns into dirty drainage water in whenever waterlogging happens, and the rainy season is flooded with dirty water. So I think focus on grey water treatment is also something which we need to work on, and we are trying to do it. But the major season of rainfall when recharge happens is when we have a lot of grey water instead of clean water. So theoretically, I imagine that I'm recharging clean water, but even in villages which are thickly populated or the exploited areas or areas which are next to Nagar Nigams, water quality or purity that is getting recharged also becomes a challenge, ma'am. Ma'am, these are the figures of what are the works we completed last year. I'll skip this slide, ma'am. This is for this year.
What kind of wastewater treatment works you have done?
So last year and this year also, we are extensively focusing on roof water harvesting and pits. Also, all the hand pumps in rural areas have been provided soak pits so that that kind of water can be taken care of. But exact grey treatment, because my personal observation is that during the rainy season, whatever dry filth, it was just cow dung or it was some other garbage that people tend to throw into the drainage lines in village areas, is all dried up. Then with extensive it all gets dissolved and then it runs into all directions and naturally flows in the drainage line directions, because we don't have end-to-end drainage system in villages. Drainage is only on the sides of roads or where there's habitation. Ultimately, then it goes and kind of puddles or pools into a low-lying. That low-lying area would always be next to a proper drainage channel. So somehow that water cleanliness or the quality of water will always be affected, sir. So we are only focused on raw water harvesting and soak pits right now. So proper grey water treatment is something that we may need some technological or kind of better support from the SBM wing or the other agencies, sir.
NIH, we will share with them, sir. Actually, we had shared with the SNOs. NIH has created a manual on treatment, floating aeration and floating plants treatment of water bodies, sir. Because the drainage lines will probably the low-lying area is a water body, so they could think about that. And SBM is providing support for 5,000 plus population villages to start with. So we'll talk to MP separately about this, sir.
Ma'am.
Like last year, and wherever there is land.
Yeah.
So like last year, again, we are, the broad category says wastewater treatment, but this is mostly soak pits and some drainage work that we do in the process. Other works are water conservation and rainwater harvesting, which we have done extensively. The mandate was to cover all Gram Panchayat buildings, all government buildings in the Panchayat area last year itself. So we have covered a substantial number. Whatever remains, we will do that again this year also, sir. So this is one area we need to work upon in a better way. Though all our Jal Shakti Kendras are well established, but at least in the last almost quarter to 2 months, sir, we have been under the model code of conduct. Our panchayats have been in elections, and all our local bodies have been in elections, sir. So one of the reasons that work on this end has come down is also because all the officials and functionaries have been busy in the elections, sir. This is now that it is flagged, so we'll take care that all updation happens regularly on this on the JSK. The collectors log in and they ensure that the JSKs are functional. And also, sir, I mean, we look at JSKs also as those repositories will actually be handling our groundwater management plans. So wherever we have them, we have shared them with the JSKs also, sir. So this is some data basically what I've already explained. We have also completed the mapping of water bodies in the state, sir. Digitization is complete, but putting it in revenue records needs some more effort, sir. So this is the very first point is where we need to work upon. So this is a brief report on Amrit Sarovar, sir. In terms of completed work, sir, we are that way leading in the country because at 1,217 Amrit Sarovars already completed. This is the largest number as of now, sir. So Amrit Sarovar work is going on well, I would say. Of course, sir, yes.
How many would be new out of these?
So all new. Our CM has been very categorical that no check dams would be allowed and no old works revival or rejuvenation would be allowed. Only new works will be taken up. So all the 73 sites identified are absolutely new works, sir. For old works, we are doing a separate program, sir, which we have locally in Madhya Pradesh called the Pushkar Dharohar Samriddhi Yojana, where we are using our NREGA scheme to do minor repairs or kind of rejuvenation of the existing water bodies or where probably too much of silting had happened and water capacity holding had come down. So we are trying to dig up that kind of silt, and where if probably shutters have gone missing or gone stolen, or if needs plantation, or also if it needs some kind of a drainage in the upper reaches or in the ridge areas, then that kind of work we are doing for the old water bodies, which we've named Pushkar Samriddhi Dharohar Yojana.
तो आपके यहाँ की जो silt remove होती है, that is used in farmers fields or how is it
used? Yes, sir. So we did go through those instructions we had received, but since we are doing it with NREGA, so it is, I mean, desiltation with manual labor is a very small amount of desiltation, and we allow the neighboring fields and laborers to use it. It is not a major silt dump that we excavate because we are not doing it with machines, sir. So Pushkar Samriddhi Abhiyan is being run only through MG NREGA, sir. So I think best practice, I would say I've already covered that we have. Yes, one small point that was missed on the GIS mapping and the groundwater recharge mapping was that we've also done 100% budget planning exercise with the Gram Panchayats last year itself with the previous Gram Sabhas. In these new Gram Sabhas also with the new Panchayat, we will again do it on October so that there's a awareness creation. So this was for us a major awareness creation exercise where we made all the people or all the Gram Sabha down and understand in percentage terms that how much do you spend on irrigation, how much on animal husbandry, on drinking water, what goes waste, what is the rainfall you're receiving, how much you're doing it in agriculture. At least there's a broad understanding, and all these plans are finalized and uploaded also, sir. So after we did GIS planning, we worked on water planning. But then subsequently, I have as of yet not been able to find too much of relevance of how to use the water budget plan because we probably moved to the GWIMP methodology. But water budget planning definitely helped us create a lot of awareness about what kind of works the Gram Panchayat was expected to do. So this is the entire sequence of how we did the groundwater management plan. If I'm not running out of time, sir, but we did it using the e-such platform of Government of India. It is a 8-hour program for technical training of sub-engineers. They were all diploma sub-engineers, which NREGA has. They are all actual employees. They compulsorily logged into the Government of India website and did the e-suction course, which was available for GIS planning. So our GIS planning, along with support, has been broadly in-house, and we have not spent any money at all for GIS or for our people within NREGA to do this entire trip or the entire planning. So it's been at zero cost that we've done the groundwater management plan, sir. So I've already said, sir, we prepared all the GIS plans for all the gram panchayats, 100% done. We 100% water budgeting. Then we have done quality check and training. We have 132 master trainers, and we are planning to expand this to 500 master trainers in planning. As I've already mentioned, if the Atal Bhujal Innovation Fund program comes about, then we would have a stronger team to take care of these master trainers, sir. Now we target to prepare all the plans by the end of this year for all the blocks, 313 blocks, sir. So these are the trainings that we did. So, and we've also called the engineers, the master trainers, for a residential training here in Bhopal, and also taken them to a field visit for the Kolans watershed area, where we have already completed work with CSR funds from Mahindra on how to do shafting or dikes or sandburns to recharge groundwater and to make dug wells become revived once again, so that people don't tend to incline towards bore wells more often. So Kolans is right next to, so we did a field training also with them, and we've done a residential training of 3 days for all the master trainers, sir. So this is how this is the link we are uploading these plans, sir. As I said, these are the photographs. I've also given the link up over here, and all the softwares are freely available. They can be downloaded on any laptop, any system, so anybody can have a look as to what kind of plans we have prepared, sir. This is our website screenshot, sir. So the same thing it will get to elaborate. So apart from the e-suction platform, all the trainings that we did, we have uploaded them also as a training module in detail. So all our trainings of the extensive trainings that we have done have been also uploaded as tutorial material. So I've already explained with the example of Amoda Gram Panchayat how we are identifying structures, sir. So on the basis of the plans prepared for the 81 blocks comprising some 6,000 plus Gram Panchayats, sir, we find that about 20,000 activities need to be undertaken. According to the identified structures, a lot of things can be done with MG NREGA, but at a slow time speed. But some organization and mechanical support would be required from any department, preferably PHE, sir. So these are the photographs, sir. Roof water harvesting this is extensively done buildings, sir. These are gabions. These are again very extensively being done, and soon after our model code of conduct, a lot more AS will be done in these structures. Sorry. Okay. So these are the kind of extensive trenching. So, I mean, apart from the trenching, these photographs, all these 3 photographs make it very clear that MP has huge areas where groundwater recharging work needs to be done in a very scientific way. Some of those areas are quite deforested by now or denuded because of soil erosion. So NREGA has a huge scope, but we are limited by the labor availability, and we cannot go at the speed which we would prefer to go for the kind of results. This is Kolan, sir. This is the river for the upper lake in Bhopal city in the municipal area, and this is the kind of recharge shaft. It's a very small structure, but its drilling cannot be done in NREGA, and this was done by CSR funds from Mahindra. These are gully plugs and gabions. We are working extensively on that. NREGA is a very handy for doing this, and the more we saturate them, the more I think it will help a terrain like Madhya Pradesh, sir. These are the usual check dams everybody does, and stop dams, and the percolation tanks, sir. So along with all this presentation, I have already discussed are the things which have been challenges, so I won't repeat them. One very minor challenge is that if fund flow becomes a little less from Government of India in Narega, because there's a huge perception that Narega is a scheme of a lot of leakages, then of course, I mean, and there's a tendency to cut down, slow down our budgets or slow down the flow of money, then it affects the labor availability. And once the labor slips away, sir, then it is very difficult to get them back to work. So one more drawback. Others I've already discussed, so I won't repeat them. So then these are some of the newspaper clippings. All the kind of public contact work that we have been doing, sir. We have so that's it, sir. Thank you, sir. Involved, exit so we have involved the Jan Abhiyan Parishad, which is a local organization, a semi-government, to help promote the idea of water conservation. Exit. So
Yeah,
this is also
excellent. Excellent. I think you are among our leading states in overall planning and strategy for water conservation. So, as I said, we will be interested in looking at your plans for creating sources in villages. Anything else for Madhya Pradesh? Okay, all the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
We go to.
So next we have Madhya Pradesh or Jharkhand.
Jharkhand, please.
I am R.S. Tigger, sir, Engineering Chief. My Secretary, sir, is attending a meeting with our sir, Chief Secretary, sir. So, shall I start, sir?
Go on. Yeah.
Sir, thank you, sir. Sir, as you know, Jal Hi Jeevan Hai, this is the core of Jal Shakti Abhiyan. Sir, this year, till now, sir, the rainfall has been very scanty. We were expecting 320 cm, a normal rainfall, but till date, sir, till 14th of July, sir, we have only received 167.4 mm, sir. So this calls for the importance of catch the rain, sir. Sir, we are 49% deficit till now, sir. Sir, so the plan of action for implementation of JSS CPR 2022 is we are focusing on setting out Jal Shakti Kendra in 24 districts, sir. Out of which only 2 districts we are lagging behind, and we'll be completing it very soon, sir. Sir, we intend to conserve water by rooftop rainwater harvesting, sir. Renovation of traditional and other water bodies are also in our plans, sir. And we'll be doing very soon, sir. Your timing is, sir.
आपका presentation move नहीं कर रहा है.
Sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sir, thank you. The scientific plan for water conservation तैयार करना है और development and intensive afforestation is also in our agenda, sir, which we are actually in process, sir. Intensive afforestation. Reuse and recharge of structures are also there, sir. For this, district administration have been coordinated, sir, and called for to take necessary steps, sir. Next slide. Intervention. So this is the progress in intervention-wise progress of JSS CTR program, sir. So 6,339 rainwater harvesting structures have been made, sir, and 1961 are still going on, sir. Renovation of traditional water bodies, we have done 189, sir, and 51 is in progress, sir. Reuse and recharge structures, we have already constructed 2,759, sir, and 111 are in progress, sir. Watershed development, likewise, sir, the data is there, sir. The training and awareness program has already been done, sir, in most of the districts, and we intend to do furthermore, sir. An enumeration of water bodies.
आपका एफोरेस्टेशन अभी लगता है शुरू होना है. This 4010
Sir, सर ये है सर. ये इतना हो चुका है सर. Sir.
This is area or this is number of trees or saplings planted.
Sir, ये tree saplings है sir.
तो ये तो अभी आपका शुरू होना है.
सर ये चलो सर.
या आगे चले.
सर ये कुछ सर ये कह सकते हैं अभियान के अंतर्गत ये कुछ हम लोगों ने कुछ एक्टिविटीज हमने किया है सर. ड्रेनेज लाइन ट्रीटमेंट है सर. ये जो ब्लू लाइन हम लोग देख रहे हैं सर, उसके ऊपर गैली प्लगिंग है. इस तरह से हम लोग बॉर्डर से गैली प्लगिंग का प्रोग्राम हुआ है सर. और कुछ कॉम्पाउंड्स कंस्ट्रक्ट किए गए हैं. और ये सर ट्रेंच कम बंद है. ये कोडरमा डिस्ट्रिक्ट में हम लोग पानी कंजर्व करने के लिए सर टॉप राइट में. और क्योंकि ट्रेंच कम बंद है सर, ये कोडरमा डिस्ट्रिक्ट में किया गया है. ये जो स्लोप से पानी आता है उससे हम लोग रिटार्ड करते हैं थोड़ी देर के लिए सर, तो ये पर्कुलेट करता है ग्राउंड वाटर. सर जल शक्ति केंद्र में हमारा प्रोग्रेस अभी सर 24 डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स में 22 डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स में हो चुका है सर. तो 2 डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स में अभी होने हैं. तो ये अभी बात हुई है जस्ट सर, ये भी एस्टेब्लिश हो जाएगा. हमारी जो डिस्ट्रिक्ट नोडल ऑफिसर से बात हुई है और ये सर ये भी एस्टेब्लिश हो जाएगा. सर स्टेटस ऑफ फंक्शनलिटी ऑफ जेएसके के अंतर्गत सर वी आर एजुकेटिंग rural and urban public regarding water conservation. Coordination with 9 departments are also being done, sir. Every activity regarding water conservation is reported and monitored through JSK. JSKs are also involved in IC activities. So newsletter and posters and media are also used. These are some photographs, sir. This is from West Bengal, from Kodarma. These are the pamphlets and photographs of Jal Shakti Kendras. The geotagging and detailed inventory water bodies will be doing very soon, sir. With the help of our JSAC, this is the Space Application Center, sir. They are already, our sir has already, Secretary sir has already talked to Director JSAC, sir. And we are planning to geotag it. So there is an action plan for repair and renovation required for these water bodies. Water bodies for repair and renovation have been identified by the field engineers, sir, and corresponding. Right. And GIS mapping of bodies it's in progress, sir. Action plan for preparation of water conservation plans for each district. It is being prepared with the help of line departments. Line departments are assessing corresponding district magistrates and the experts in the field like the NGOs. We got the list of NGOs you have sent to us, and that has been sent to the corresponding district magistrates. Sir, the financial assistance we have already received. All the districts have received financial assistance of this. That is being used in ISG activities of programs. Sir, Amrit Sarovars, we intend to complete, sir, 20 Amrit Sarovars by this 15th August 2022, sir, in each district. And there are already 20 districts which are participating, sir. Minimum sites will be 1800, that is 75 in each district. But the site identified is 2182, out of which 34 sites have already been started and the 7 Amrit servers have already been completed. That is in Paschim Singhbhum, Godda, and Giridih, and 2 in Garhwal. So we intend to complete 20 in each district by 15th of 2022, sir. Our Chief Secretary, sir, is actually monitoring the progress of Amrit servers. These are photographs, sir, which we have already taken up, sir. The geotagging will also be done, sir, on this. And we intend to complete this Amrit Sarovar program by, sir, in August 2023 in a phase manner. So this is one scheme that we are intending to take in best practices. This is in district of Dumka. We are tapping water in a hill, sir. We are passing it to another hill through a channel, sir. And there's the command, sir, which is in the bottom right side, sir. This is 110 hectares, which we actually are irrigating, sir. And there are ponds which will be benefiting from this water, which otherwise would have gone astray from the first hill, sir. So this I thought would be put up in the best practices. The JSS CTR, which happened. So these are the IEC activities. We have been organizing programs, and we have Bokaro districts, most of them are, sir. But these are being done by Nehru Yuva Kendra. These are the activities. There are some photographs. So, 11 districts have been visited by the central officers, sir. One district is being visited today also, sir. The districts are Hazaribagh, Bokaro, Dhanbad, Koderma, Palamu, Chaibasa, Muti, Ranchi, Dhamka, Pakur, and Kota, sir. And the response is good, sir. And the result is also very satisfactory, sir. So the activities of each district is being uploaded in the data. IC activities of NGOs and every working and villages are involved. Gram Sabha is regularly done, sir, to educate villagers about the importance of the conservation water. Narega funds are being used. Sir, while uploading, we had some issues which we tried to solve. Sir, the app, the photograph uploading part of the app was not working properly, sir. I think that needs to be sorted out, sir, from the technical side, sir. What we did was we took the photograph independently and then we tried to upload the data, the photographs. Thank you, sir.
Districts are uploading regularly?
Pretty much, except, sir, for Giridih. Giridih may looks like some problem. It seems other districts are uploading, sir. गिरिडीह में 354 डेज का वो है, so गिरिडीह से अपलोड नहीं हो रहा है, ठीक है सर?
जी मैम ऐप से डायरेक्ट अपलोड नहीं हो रहा है, फोटोग्राफ लेने के बाद फिर उसमें अपलोड करना पड़ता है।
लुक एट दैट, लेकिन बाकी सारे जिले अपलोड कर रहे हैं, गिरिडीह से नहीं
जी
हो रहा
मैम,
वो एक बार बात करिए डीसी से।
जी यस मैम,
ठीक है। झारखंड, थैंक यू।
थोड़ा सा इनका थोड़ा सा ये जो जियो टैगिंग है इसको एक्सपेडाइट करना पड़ेगा, एंड साइंटिफिक प्लानिंग, आई मीन वी हर्ड एमपी, this is something that should also focus on their water deficit districts and blocks, sir. उस पे थोड़ा सा फोकस किया
जी मैम, यस सर।
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Now we will go to
Chandigarh.
Chandigarh, please. Chandigarh. आपका प्रेजेंटेशन तो दिखाई पड़ गया, लेकिन आप दिखने बंद हो गए अभी। हाँ, ठीक है।
Sir, this is a presentation on Jal Shakti Abhiyan CTR in Chandigarh, sir. Chandigarh, this is my introduction about Chandigarh, sir. Chandigarh is a planned city, a new capital of Punjab state, sir. In 1966, Punjab was state-wise organized and Chandigarh was kept as a union territory, sir. The area of the UT Chandigarh is 114 square kilometer. The municipal corporation came into existence in 1994, sir. The jurisdiction of MC Chandigarh is whole of the city Chandigarh and now also the 22 villages. Now whole of the city comes under organization, sir. The population of the Chandigarh present is as per census 2011 is 10.54 lakhs. Now present it is about 12.70 lakhs, sir. This is a plan of Chandigarh, sir. Layout plan of Chandigarh. Now, sir, city has two sources of water supply. One is canal water and one is groundwater, sir. Canal water is about we have 87 mgd and groundwater is 20 mgd. Number of waterworks in cities, sir, there are 10 waterworks through which the water is supplied to the whole Chandigarh. So there are about 289 tubules, from which 20 mgd water is being withdrawn. This is the sharing pattern which water share with the other states, Mohali, Panchkula and Chandigarh, and we have around in city 107 mgd water, and per capita we are supplying 225 LPCD, which is normally in hard sets. This is groundwater recharging data, madam. In the year 2017, we have recharged 42.36 million cubic meter per year through different sources from rainfall, from surface water irrigation, groundwater irrigation, tanks, ponds, water conservation. And 2020, it was increased to 63.75 million cubic meter per year. This is a comparison on groundwater resources in Chandigarh, sir. This is availability of groundwater and water. We have drying the water, and we are just drying in 2017 89% groundwater, and now in 2020 we are drying 81%, and we are in the semi-critical state, sir. Chandigarh is in the semi-critical state. This is the plan of the Chandigarh where groundwater levels are been shown. In red area shown is where groundwater is below 20 meter below ground level, and green shows 10 to 20, and yellow 8 to 10 meter, and blue 0 to 8 meter. So this is the plan of action just we have made under JSCATR 2022, installation of groundwater recharging wells, rejuvenation of water bodies, uses of tertiary treated water in parks, green belts, industries and residential areas, sir. And implement thing is to implement 24 into water supply in the complete city, Chandigarh, sir. Well, this is the what we have done till date. Till date in government schools roof top rainwater harvesting structure 57 numbers has been built up, sir. Government college has been 8 colleges have been built up. In non-residential building and residential building, total 118 numbers roof top rainwater harvesting system has been built, and rooftop area covered in the building this 2,69,170 square meters, sir. And annual average water recharge from these rooftop water harvesting wells 269.7 million liters per year. This will be go to the groundwater through these wells. Now next proposal we have just made groundwater.
How they supposed to do it, sir?
Now we have proposed in all the we have 42 community center in the city, and now we are going for next 2 years rooftop rainwater harvesting structure in all 42 community centers. Apart from this, we have identified 40 government buildings and institutions, and we are just making mandatory for the residential area which have greater than area 500 square watt, they must install rainwater harvesting structure in their houses, residential areas, sir. These are the some photographs we have built up the rainwater harvesting structures in the buildings and institutions. This is one of the building in sector 9. This is the government college for girls in sector 42. This is next. This is the rainwater harvesting system we have constructed in Punjab and Haryana High Court. This is now we have planned sir, rejuvenation of water bodies. Next topic. There are 3 lakes already existing. They are the functioning very well, sir. And number of water bodies under rejuvenation which has been identified as 7 numbers. And this is a village 6 villages. 7 water bodies we have started the work. In 4 bodies we will complete the work by 15th of August 2022 and others by 30th of October 2022, sir. This is some pictures, sir. This is Sukhna Lake. Next. Sukhna Lake next. This is a Dhanas Lake, second lake, sir. This is a sector 42 lake, sir. Next. This is under progress, sir. These are lying all renovation. These are all ponds in abundant state, sir. Now we have started the work and we will complete by this pond by 30th of October 2022. This sir. Chalte jao next. Chao. This is one of the picture we have before, sir. This is just water body which are going to, we are now to start the rejuvenation work. Next. This is the same which is shown earlier. Now this is the picture which work is under progress and we will complete by 15th of August in this water body, sir.
Where will they get the water from, sir?
इसका पानी का चैनल आपका इंटैक्ट है या क्या है इसमें?
पानी सर इसमें सारा रेन वाटर लेंगे हम सर. जितना पानी आएगा नियर कैचमेंट एरिया का हम इसका स्पेशल स्टॉर्म वाटर लाइन डाल रहे हैं. जो जितना भी रेन वाटर आएगा वो इसमें जाएगा सर. This is the main other components are recycling of wastewater. We want maximum tertiary treated water shall be used in all the TT parks, industries for washing purpose. And for this, we have available 31 million gallons per day of TT water, and presently we are using about 10 mgd, sir, TT water, and for which 4 underground UGRs have already been constructed, and coverage TT network is about 85%, sir.
Sir, now एक UGR का कितना होगा वॉल्यूम?
सर डिफरेंट है ये वॉल्यूम्स के 4200 से लेकर 3600 क्यूबिक मीटर तक के हैं सर. दिस इज नाउ नेक्स्ट प्रपोजल सर. जितने हमारे पास 6 STPs हैं जो पहले पुराने नॉर्म्स के ऊपर बने हुए थे और जो नए नॉर्म्स आए हैं वो BOD के लेस देन 10 mgd है. बट जो हम इसकी जो अपग्रेडेशन चल रही है सर वो मार्च 2023 तक खत्म हो जाएगी और इसका जो BOD लेवल होगा लेस देन 5 mgd और इक्वली जो लेस देन 100, so that it can water can also be used for the TT water can washing purpose, sir. To lay the tertiary treated water lines in the left out area, sir, we have just planned under AMRIT 2 scheme which has been passed by the committee, and work will be completed by 2027, and this will save about 10 mgd potable water, sir.
कितने STPs हैं जो आप अपग्रेड करवा रहे हैं?
6 STPs करा रहे हैं सर.
और कौन सी कंपनी कर रही है इसको?
सर डिफरेंट कंपनीज कर रहे हैं. एक लार्जन एंड टर्बो कर रही है. ऐसे दो तीन कंपनी और हैं सर. डिफरेंट कंपनी कर रही है. इंटरनेशनल लेवल कंपनीज है सर.
ओके.
दिस इज द यूजेज ऑफ टर्शियरी ट्रीटेड वाटर सर. ग्रीन बेल्ट्स में हम यूज कर रहे हैं 72 और गार्डन्स में 26. हमारे छोटे पार्क्स भी हैं सेक्टर्स में. नेबरर्स पार्क्स जिसको हम बोलते हैं सर वो 1807 है और नंबर ऑफ रेजिडेंशियल प्रेमिसेस अभी 1800 है जिनको हम पानी दे रहे हैं. अबाउट 6000 मोर की रेजिडेंशियल प्रेमिसेस हैं जिनका एरिया 500 स्क्वायर यार्ड से ज्यादा है सर. हम उनके लिए मैंडेटरी कर रहे हैं कि वो इनको जोड़ लगाएं जैसे ही हमारे प्लांट्स अपग्रेड हो जाते हैं मार्च 2023 के बाद, सो दैट कि वो भी अपना पोर्टेबल वाटर ना यूज करें अपने घरों में लैंड को मेंटेन करने के लिए सर.
TT स्टैंड फॉर
टर्शियरी ट्रीटेड वाटर सर. टर्शियरी ट्रीटेड वाटर सर. जितना भी सीवेज होता है उसको हम टर्शियरी लेवल पे ट्रीट करते हैं सर. दिस इज सम पिक्चर पार्क्स व्हिच आर वी यूजिंग टर्शियरी ट्रीटेड वाटर सर.
कितना खर्च पड़ता है पर यूनिट खर्चा कितना पड़ रहा है टर्शियरी ट्रीटमेंट में?
Madam, it is costly, but presently I have not this cost. Later on I will just convey you, madam. Madam, this is the main focus on 24/7 water supply project, which will be implementing in the next 5 years. The present consumption of water is 225 LPCD, madam. Consumption of water in city after implementation of 24/7 water, we will brought it to the 150 LPCD, and the saving in the water will be 75 LPCD, madam. And tubers to be closed, and all the tubers we are going to close in the next 5 years. These 289 tubers will not be in working condition after 5 years. They all will be in the shutdown position, and in this way we will save the water 90 million liter per day. Means 33 million cubic meter per year water, groundwater will be saved, man.
ये आपका सेविंग इन वाटर जो बता रहे हैं 75 LPCD, वो कैसे करेंगे
सर? 20 MGD हम जो ट्यूबवेल से पानी ले रहे हैं वो सारे बंद कर देंगे सर, शट डाउन कर देंगे और पूरा कैनाल वाटर पे चलेंगे
सर. मोस्ट लाइकली some significant amount of that 225 LPCD must be leakages, non-revenue water. So,
हाँ जी मैडम, इसमें काफी लीकेज भी
25-26% आपका फिजिकल लॉस होगा. कितना है
लीकेज? अराउंड 25 to 30%. In the 24/7 project में मैडम
down to 10% there's a saving.
मैडम इसमें हम बिलो 15% का ले रहे हैं, जो ये जब इम्प्लीमेंट करेंगे 20/4/7 वाटर सप्लाई, और इसमें जो मोस्ट ऑफ द पाइप 40% ऑफ द पाइप्स है वो रिप्लेस हो जाएंगी, जो हमारी बहुत पुरानी है, जो 70 में डली थी पाइप्स, वो सारी रिप्लेस हो जाएंगे मैंने इस प्रोजेक्ट्स में. देखिए, and this is the comparison we have made about in 2027. In the last slide we have shown 81%, we are showing a semi-critical stage. Now after that implementation of this 24/7 water supply and usage of tertiary water, after just upgradation of the STP, our extraction is remain 20% from 81%. So 61% ground.
ये आपका रिसोर्स इतना कैसे बढ़ गया 2017 से 20 में?
हाँ जी जी सर, 2017 से 2020 में ये बढ़ गया सर 53.33, तभी हमारी परसेंटेज 89 से 81% आ गई ना सर.
ये बढ़ा कैसे?
ये
उसमें
2013 तक तो 19 था, उसके बाद 38 हो गया, अब 57 हो गया.
हाँ जी, तो बढ़िया सर. अब ये 2027 में 65 हो जाएगा सर इसका.
नहीं तो
अवेलेबिलिटी होगी सर, ये एनुअल एक्सट्रैक्ट अवेलेबल रिसोर्स होगा हमारा नीचे ग्राउंड के जैसे.
हाँ, तो ये अवेलेबल रिसोर्स इतना तेजी से कैसे बढ़ा है?
2027 का बता रहा हूँ सर मैं.
नहीं, आप देखिए 2013 से 2020 तक देखिए.
ये सर इसमें आप देखेंगे तो लास्ट में ये इन्होंने सेंट्रल ग्राउंड वाटर डिपार्टमेंट की ये रिपोर्ट है, इसमें इन्होंने ना इनके पास लास्ट में अवेलेबल डाटा नहीं था, 0% दिखाया, जिसमें वो कुछ नील दिखाया था. सॉरी, सेकंड में सर ग्रॉस काउंट.
मतलब आप कह रहे हैं एस्टिमेशन ही ठीक नहीं था पहले?
नहीं, लास्ट 2004 to 2013 ये डाटा उन्होंने बीच में कंसोलिडेट नहीं किया सर उसमें.
We'll find out sir, CJWB से पूछेंगे है क्या. और also if you look 2013 to 2017 suddenly their extraction was 0, now it goes up to 81%.
मैंने ये डाटा इसमें उन्होंने डाला नहीं है इनके पास, या तो डाटा होगा नहीं सेंट्रल ग्राउंड वाटर वालों के पास, तो उन्होंने इसलिए शो नहीं किया, इसलिए वो 0 से एकदम 89% दिखा रहा है. उससे पहले भी ड्रा हो रहा था सर मैंने.
ओके.
Regarding the sir setting up Jal Shakti Kendra, just we will by end of this month we will set up this Jal Shakti Kendra. We have just got approval and we will just set up it within a few days. This regarding mapping of water bodies, sir, lidar survey हमने करा लिया है सारी water bodies का अपना. For the GIS mapping इसके लिए हमारा जो next month तक complete हो जाएगा सर. Geotagging and detailed entry has already been prepared, sir. The water bodies are already enumerated as per revenue has record, and regarding the finance 2 lakh has already been received from ministry. These are some pictures, sir. CNO Madam Manmeet has visited few days back, and that is a site pictures with them with her. पीछे 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 और पीछे कर दो और पीछे. This is regarding IEC activities. Madam, you are just saying here is our commissioner Anandita Mitra. We are at site and just talking with the nearby residents and the officials for water conservation and regarding cleaning of the drains and surface drains which are passing nearby them. And we have cleaned all the drains combined. This is the photograph, sir. Intensive forestation, we have already planted 110,519 saplings, sir. And water bodies paint already there in the portal we have uploaded. मनरेगा फंड्स हम यहाँ पे यूज नहीं करते सर, हमारे पास नहीं है क्योंकि अर्बन करके सारा चंडीगढ़ में आ रहा है. और कन्वर्जेंस में हम सिर्फ एक ही स्टेट है सर, यूटी और यूटी स्टेट और म्यूनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन अर्बन लोकल बॉडी इकट्ठे मिलकर ही काम करते हैं सर. वो अपने फंड से ही सारा ये काम कर रहे हैं. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. So only Delhi is left?
Only Delhi is left, sir.
Delhi, please. ये हमारा वो शीश कुछ जाने वाला है क्या? उसको स्विच ऑफ ही कर दो फिर.
अभी तक they have not managed to fix the.
Delhi, please.
Good afternoon, sir. This side SL Meena, member water supply, Delhi, sir.
Good afternoon.
Is it audible, sir?
Yes.
Yes. Can we start, sir?
Yes, please.
Yes, sir. Sorry. खोलिए.
अब ठीक है, चलिए.
हाँ सर. Is it visible, sir? Sir, Delhi government has started action plan for implementation of GSA as the rain 2020 by way of the following activities, sir. Setting up of Jal Shakti Kendra, sir. Renovation, creation of rainwater harvesting structures, rejuvenation of water bodies, sir. Use of treated water effluent and public outreach, sir. Sir, in Delhi, total targeted rainwater harvesting to be set up 10,704, sir, and till date 8,532 installed, sir, and 2,172 is expected to complete by 30 September, sir. Progress on setting of Jal Shakti Kendra, sir. Delhi, sir, is divided into 11 districts, and all number of Jal Shakti Kendra, 11 Jal Shakti Kendra are set up in all the districts, sir. All the Jal Shakti Kendras are functional, sir, and the all the Jal Shakti Kendras are set up with the field office of Delhi Jal Board with required tech staff, materials and contact details, sir. In that Jal Shakti Kendra, dissemination of information regarding setting of JSK in each district through newspapers, workshops, field offices, workshops, etc. In Delhi, sir, Delhi government has mapped water bodies state preparation of water conservation plan. Sir, ये है हमारा एक enumeration of water bodies with respective revenue districts, sir. We have mapped, sir, 1011 number of water bodies, sir. And out of those, sir, 836 number of water bodies have been geotagged, sir. 701 numbers of water bodies have been detailed inventory, sir. Action plan for repair, renovation wherever for these water bodies, sir. We have completed treatment part of the 33 numbers of water bodies in Delhi. And the action plan for next 3 years is given here, sir, just in Annexure A. Open. This is the action plan for rejuvenation of water bodies for the next 3 years, sir, in different districts, sir. Total number of water bodies are 1001. In 22-23 by March of 23, sir, we will be able to complete 24 number of water bodies, sir. 23-24 by end of March, sir, we will be in position to complete 336 water bodies, sir. And in 24-25, sir, we will be able to complete next 285 water bodies, sir. 25-26, we will be in position to complete 333 water bodies, sir.
इस साल का टारगेट कम है.
Sir, this year has because of this, sir, we are just tendering planning. So just we have completed 33 numbers. We have completed, sir, and beyond these 24 numbers. In addition, we will be in position to complete by March 23, sir.
करेंगे क्या ये बताएं?
हाँ, थोड़ा डिटेल बताइए क्या क्या इसमें खाली डिसिल्टिंग है या कुछ और काम भी है?
इसमें सर हमारा जो है क्लीनिंग ऑफ पॉन्ड्स रहेगा, सर. एक हमारी ट्रीटमेंट यूनिट रहेगी, सर, जो हमारा जो रॉ सीवेज आएगा उसको वी विल ट्रीट इट, सर, एंड treating that, sir, we will put that treated water in that water body, sir. Or during rainy season, sir, जो stone water that will also put that water body, sir. Next. Yeah, this is other. We have already mapped, sir, all the water bodies 1011, sir. Our action plan for preparation of water conservation plan of each district is given in the 5 components, sir. Water bodies, we are all this as we have seen, sir. We are rejuvenating these all water bodies, sir, and these will act for recharge of the groundwater. And these are our artificial lakes, sir. 60 numbers artificial lakes are there, sir, total. इसमें, sir, we will put the treated effluent, which will be taken from our existing STP sewage treatment plants, sir. Delhi Jal Board has, sir, about 35 number of STPs, and the treated effluent, wastewater treated effluent, will be taken into these artificial lakes for recharge of the groundwaters. Next. This is, sir, our plan of reuse of the treated effluents. The treated effluent generated from our sewage treatment plants will also be used for horticulture purposes, various farmhouses, forests, and parks, etc., sir. These are our different STPs, sir, and this is our plan, sir, to supply them for irrigation, horticulture purpose. This, this is our plan for, sir, recharging of the rainwater, sir, rainwater, surface water, sir. In different districts, sir, we have planned to construct 1650 recharge points in Delhi, sir, to recharge water in ground, sir. And these will be completed within this end of, sir, July. These are our rainwater rooftop rainwater structures, sir. We are planning to construct, sir. We have already. Next. Yes, sir. This is our progress for creation of renovation and roadmap for next 1 year, sir. Delhi has selected, sir, 38 numbers of water bodies in Amrit Sarovar project, sir. Out of these, sir, 19 numbers we will be in position to complete by end of March 2023. These are the practices on various interventions of Jal Shakti Abhiyan CTR 2022, sir. This is the, sir, these are incentive. Consumers having plot area of 100 square meter or more will get a rebate of 10% of total bill for implementing adequate functional. दिल्ली में, सर, एज पर बिल्डिंग बायलॉ, सर, 100 स्क्वायर मीटर से ऊपर जो भी, सर, जो प्लॉट होगा उसमें ये मैंडेटरी होगा रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग से करने के लिए. उसके लिए हम टोटल जो हमारा वाटर जो बिल आएगा इनको, सर, उसमें हम 10% का हम रिबेट देंगे, सर. और यदि कोई ओनर, सर, यदि रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग स्ट्रक्चर लगाएगा साथ में ही एडेड विद द वेस्ट वाटर रिसाइकलिंग प्लांट, देन उसमें, सर, हम 15% का उसको बिल में रिबेट. और इसमें हमारी एक स्कीम है, सर, दिल्ली गवर्नमेंट की, कि यदि फाइनेंस असिस्टेंट भी हम करते हैं, सर, उसमें दी साइज ऑफ प्लाट 100 to 500 स्क्वायर मीटर, उसमें, सर, हम 50% ऑफ द टोटल कॉस्ट ऑफ रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग और 25,000 विचएवर इज लेस, जो भी होगा, सर, वो हम उसको ये असिस्टेंट करते हैं, सर. यदि मेरा उनका प्लाट 500 स्क्वायर मीटर से ज्यादा है, सर, तो उसमें हम 50% ऑफ द टोटल कॉस्ट और 50,000 विचएवर इज लेस वो हम उसको, सर, फाइनेंशियल हेल्प करते हैं, सर. और इसमें, सर, हमारा ये जो गाइडलाइंस में पेनल्टी क्लॉज भी है, सर. यदि कोई ओनर रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग नहीं लगाता है, तो, सर, उसको हम वाटर बिल्स में उसका जो 1 पॉइंट, यदि जो हमारा नॉर्मल बिल आता है उसका 1.5 टाइम्स हम जो है इसमें, सर, पेनल्टी वो बिल बढ़ के उनको जाएगा, सर. इनोवेटिव पॉलिसी, सर. डीजेबी हैज अप्रूव्ड द पॉलिसी ऑफ ट्रीटेड एफluent फॉर हॉर्टिकल्चर पर्पस फॉर फार्म हाउस ग्राउंड वाटर रिचार्ज एंड फॉर अलाउड टू रेज द डिप्लेटिंग ग्राउंड वाटर टेबल. इसमें, सर, ये जो हमारा जो ट्रीटेड एफluent जो भी पीछे एक्सप्लेन करा गया था, जो फार्म हाउस ओनर या फॉरेस्ट जो ट्रीटेड एफluent लेगा, सर, उसमें हम शुरू में इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर चार्ज लेते हैं 20,000 रुपीज, 20,000 पर एकड़. और उसके बाद मंथली चार्ज हम उससे लेते हैं, सर, 5,000 एकड़. और यदि हम इरिगेशन पर्पज से तो फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट देते हैं, सर, उसको. ग्राउंड वाटर रिचार्ज एंड रिचार्ज वाटर बॉडी टीसी एंड चार्जिंग टू पावर प्लांट, इनको हम फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट देते हैं, सर. ग्राउंड वाटर रिचार्जिंग यूजिंग एफluent फ्रॉम एसटीपी थ्रू क्रिएशन ऑफ आर्टिफिशियल लेक्स. सर, आर्टिफिशियल लेक्स हमारी जो 16 नंबर अभी पीछे एक्सप्लेन करा गया था, उसमें हम जो एफluent है उसको ले जाते हैं, सर, और वो ग्राउंड वाटर रिचार्ज करके जरूरत के हिसाब से हम एक्सट्रैक्शन भी कर सकते हैं, सर, बाय वे ऑफ द इंस्टॉलिंग ट्यूबवेल्स. नेक्स्ट. ये, सर, हमारी डिफरेंट आई एक्टिविटीज ऑफ जल शक्ति अभियान है, सर. डीजेबी ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम ऑन रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग एंड मैनेजमेंट फॉर schools RWA reinforce government catch the rain initiative. To support the catch the rain where it falls, when it falls initiative of the National Water Mission and under the Ministry of Jal Shakti, the Delhi Jal Board organizes a series of training programs on rain harvesting and management for resident welfare association and schools of Delhi by Water Giants. The ground breaking training programs were attended by thousands of pupils from Delhi, including a large number of RWA students, teachers, NGOs, and officers of the Public Works Department of Delhi. ये हमारी पिक्चर है, सर. Delhi Jal Board organized series of training programs for Delhi College held on 7th-8 June 2022, supporting the campaign by Ministry of Jal Shakti, Government of India, Jal Shakti Abhiyan, Catch the Rain, where it falls, when it falls. The aim of this initiative is to stimulate awareness, build trust, and encourage student faculty from the Delhi College to become active participants in conserving and managing water. Glimpses of series of online training program by Delhi. ये सर कुछ pictures हैं सर. Next. The online training for the citizen of Delhi and RWs were organized by Delhi Jal Board for 11 Jal Shakti Kendra. Training programs focused on the knowledge, capacity buildings, technologies, solutions related to the grey water with best practices. The idea was to make every citizen of Delhi manage wastewater properly to reduce the load on the freshwater resources. Glimpses of series of online training programs by Delhi Jal Board. ये सब कुछ pictures हैं जो training की गई. Details of the IEC activities of GSSM. 1100 cooperative societies were reached in one-to-one RWA contact. NGOs, GDS societies to encourage them to install rainwater harvesting. Regular meetings and workshops with RWAs and publics are being organized. Yes, sir. Jal Sapat on 22nd of March 22 with over 48,290 locations across Delhi. Jal Sapat का program था सर जो दिल्ली में करा गया था. वाटर कंजर्वेशन कैंपेन्स, मल्टी मॉडल कैंपेन्स, प्रिंट कैंपेन्स, ये हम सर हर जगह जो प्रिंट मीडिया में तो सर ये एक तरह से एडवर्टाइजमेंट है सर वाटर कंजर्वेशन के. नेक्स्ट वाटर कंजर्वेशन कैंपेन, मल्टी मॉडल कैंपेन, सोशल मीडिया कैंपेन, ये हमारा सर इस तरह का ये डिफरेंट ऑफिस. वाटर कंजर्वेशन, वाटर टॉक विद कम्युनिटी पीपल सर, ये वर्कशॉप भी पीछे करे गए थे सर. कसवड एरिया जहांगीरपुरी है सर. नेक्स्ट सेव द वाटर ड्राइव बाई AWS किड्स, ये भी कैंपेन चला गया था. नेक्स्ट पेंटिंग एग्जीबिशन एट DM ऑफिस कॉम्प्लेक्स, ये सर डिफरेंट डिस्ट्रिक्ट मजिस्ट्रेट जो हमारे 11 डिस्ट्रिक्ट है ऑल ओवर हमारा जो जल सकते सर DMs के कंट्रोल में काम करता है फुली सर. और ये पेंटिंग एग्जीबिशन उनके ऑफिसों में ये लगाई गई थी. पानी पे चर्चा, ये कम्युनिटी टॉक्स है सर, ये डिफरेंट ये ऑर्गेनाइज करी गई थी पीछे. ये सर डिफरेंट जो फील्ड विजिट ऑफ सेंट्रल नोडल ऑफिसर्स एंड टेक्निकल ऑफिसर डिस्ट्रिक्ट सर, ये हमारा डिफरेंट जो JSA बने हुए हैं सर जल शक्ति केंद्र उनका जो वो है सर. और ये जो जब विजिट हुई है सर ये डिटेल है इसके सामने, इस डिस्ट्रिक्ट के सामने. Uploading of the information uses of the Manrega environment of NGO status of convergence of by state. Uploading and display of the photographs on portal is being done for rainwater harvesting seminars, workshop, etc. Manrega fund is not being used for rainwater harvesting. NGOs are being involved for training general public regarding rainwater harvesting structures, promotions, and providing technical assistance to the public at large by empaneled agencies of NGO. Thank you, sir.
Anything?
एक तो points sir which are coming from the CNO's reports. One is that is this totally Delhi Jal Board or other departments of Delhi government being involved?
Yes, sir.
Madam, review वगैरह हुए हैं क्या?
This is including all department of Delhi government.
CS के पास रिव्यू हुआ है एक दो बार?
लेटेस्ट नहीं हुआ मैडम, रिसेंट नहीं हुआ.
हाँ.
काफी पहले हुआ था मैडम, अभी लेटेस्ट नहीं हुआ.
Okay. अच्छा. They just quickly, for instance, the CNO who went to East Delhi, they are saying that that there is no information on Amrit Sarovars. There is no water conservation plan has been prepared. With regard to geotagging, they have specified that locations have been identified but not tagged and plan to complete geotagging by October 2022. Is it that collectors के साथ कोई information gap है? क्योंकि आप जो information दे रहे हो और CNO से जो report आ रहा है उसमें थोड़ा सा फर्क आ रहा है.
मतलब हमारे जल शक्ति केंद्र में हमारे जल बोर्ड के जो रेस्पेक्टिव जो एडिशनल चीफ इंजीनियर होते हैं वो हमारे उसके एक नोडल ऑफिसर, और दिस जल शक्ति वर्क्स अंडर ऑल ओवर कंट्रोल ऑफ डिस्ट्रिक्ट रेस्पेक्टिव डिस्ट्रिक्ट मजिस्ट्रेट. So there is always जो है coordination between both of them, and this whatever जो staffs are being deputed for in this
एक
JSA.
बार आप ऐसा करें, सीईओ
जी
साहब से
मैडम.
रिक्वेस्ट करें, सीईओ साहब से रिक्वेस्ट करें कि सभी डीसीज को एक बार बुला के
जी
कि
मैडम.
क्या काम हो रहा है नहीं हो रहा है एक बार डीसीज के साथ रिव्यू करा ले, और सीएस साहब
जी
से
मैडम.
रिक्वेस्ट करें कि सारे डिपार्टमेंट्स को बुला के उनको मोबिलाइज करें.
जी मैडम.
ठीक है.
जी मैडम.
और तीसरी
जी.
सर रिक्वेस्ट ये है कि जो रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग स्ट्रक्चर्स, ये जो आप सब्सिडी दे रहे हैं, कितने लोगों ने लिया?
हाँ ये मैडम I will provide you detail.
25,000 और 50,000. How many
जी.
people have accessed it?
This detail madam I will provide you.
Okay. और रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग का कुछ रैंडमाइज्ड इंस्पेक्शन तो कर लीजिए, कितने काम कर रहे हैं और कितने वर्किंग ऑर्डर में है.
Yes madam, we carry out the inspection randomly.
ओके. कि लास्ट कब करा?
लास्ट इंस्पेक्शन कब था हमारा? रेन वाटर लास्ट इंस्पेक्शन कब था लेटेस्ट?
If you could share that with us, please.
कोई डेट लेटेस्ट? हाँ लेटेस्ट मैडम दो क्या अभी लास्ट जो है 17 को. 17 को द्वारका सोसाइटी का इंस्पेक्शन किया वहाँ स्टार्ट.
समझ नहीं आई. ठीक है सर, हम इसको फॉलो अप कर लेंगे. थैंक यू सर. We have. Thank you. If all the states are with us, there's something that we quickly want to run past them. Are all the states still there? Hi. So thank you everybody. I think this has been a learning experience for us also in terms of how different states are going forward with the Jal Shakti Abhiyan. One request continuously is whatever good work has been done, particularly where communities have been strongly involved, please share with us, create videos, document. And the other is, can you create some outcome stories? So if you can, maybe we will circulate a format to you, but look at certain blocks where you had has the water table improved over the last 2 years? Has there been a change? So if we can also document certain outcomes, it will help us in terms of taking this entire movement forward. The last thing is a specific, isko chhod do. Yeah, this is okay. We have discussed this already. I just want that slide on the वो लास्ट वाला जो हम लोग वो प्लान GIS प्लान का था.
लास्ट वाला साइड.
Second installment. So one of the things that had been done last time was that an amount of 2 lakh was budgeted in the Jal Shakti Ministry for districts to prepare their GIS plans, water conservation plans. 1 lakh was given to the districts who sent us their bank mandates. The second lakh was supposed to be sent after utilization certificates were to be received from districts. Now that has been extremely difficult. We can't chase 500 district magistrates and DCs to give us utilization certificates. So what we decided, and luckily IFD and Sir has been kind enough to agree, is that we will, if the SNO certifies that the GIS mapping is either, because GIS mapping needs more than 2 lakh rupees, and we are cognizant of the fact this is just a kind of incentive money to help states, districts to get started. So if the SNO certify that in all the districts in their states, GIS mapping is either complete or in progress, and the overall performance, then we will release that money to the districts. So this is a format that we have prepared. This is just a question to the SNOs before we finalize it. Would you be comfortable doing this?
जीएस मैपिंग हमारी है या इन प्रोग्रेस है और क्या परफॉर्मेंस है
Hello. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Haryana, ma'am. Ma'am, our GIS ma'am is complete, but HARSEC is demanding funds. So probably there's a gap now as how to transfer the money from each district to HARSEC.
No, you don't have to transfer the money. We have the mandate, we'll transfer the money to the districts.
Again, to the district. Based on the certificate, ma'am. That we will arrange, ma'am, but from the district, it has to go to HARSEC, so, ma'am. That's the link we just missing.
From the district, it has to go to
HARSEC, ma'am. Haryana state.
Released 1 lakh. How did that 1 lakh travel?
It did not travel to them as yet. They are demanding. It is spent at the district level only.
Okay.
1 lakh which came has been spent at the district level. Now that was expected to come, didn't come, and this fund has to flow to basically to HARSEC directly. So if it is possible, ma'am, I request if you can government agency, if you can directly transfer the funds to HARSEC.
We have noted your suggestion. We'll see what finance says. Anybody else have anything to say?
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so we'll have sort of converse. I don't think this is working out so well. So I think thank you. So maybe we can close. If you could just some closing words, sir.
So we thank all the states present here for their update. It seems that Jal Shakti Abhiyan 2002 is picking up well. Please continue your efforts, and we have taken note of your suggestions to improve the portal that the mission will be doing. And all the best for the remaining part of the Jal Shakti Abhiyan. We will be in touch with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Close.